Good day, everyone. It is Saturday morning. I don't have time to get Fluffy to the park today. Well, it's a close park, even though the gas prices. It's a close park I wasn't going to go to a far one. That's more gas, but since I got CERT today, it's the final day of the academy. I don't have time to do all this. I have to get does Fluffy's walk, get my stuff together real fast, and head over to the training facility. And so Fluffy had her nature call. So yeah, then I'll get to the training facility then. After I get home, eat or snack, whatever it is, real quick. Get my stuff in my CERT backpack and go. And I'll show a video of going there. And what I'm going to do is I'm at the training facility. I'm going to show a little bit of that. It won't be much, just be here's the area where we set up our first aid triage during these drills. Here's a building that's the exercise building where they're going to do all the stuff. And here's admin buildings where they just do classrooms. So I'll see if I can do that as well. And then I will do that. What I'm going to ask is, the coordinator is, next time when they do the final, the tests at the end, they have different ways to do it. It's almost like a group deal. It's not one of those you can take a test and you fail. People talk about it, it's like, oh, here's the answers here. They'll explain it, and then you use your practical. And really, unless people just so plain out don't want to do anything, you really can't fail here. It's not like, well, you need to get a 3.0, 4.0. You do this question wrong. So they can discuss this. Here's what it is here. This is that. This is this. If you see this, it's this reason why. And it could possibly minorly be this reason, and here's why. Like, you might have a question. Have a class that's, if you see you're in a disaster and you see some dogs walking your way, who do you go to inform that to? And so you'll go to your immediate department head or section leader you have here, which is gonna be if you got because you're doing it medical and everything, that's like the operations department, because it's actually doing operations. So you're not going to go with a big team leader who's over everything, saying, hey, we got some dogs around in the area here. You go to your operations leader, and he will look at it there, or he might bring it up saying, hey, we got this concern here. So people might think, well, I'm going to go to the team leader right away. So people may know, that's okay, but it's more practical to go this. So see, it's not really you're going to fail unless you just sit back there not wanting to do anything. And if you don't do anything in class, you'll be like, we're here to do our exercises. You're just sitting around not doing anything. You're not part of the medical team. You're not part of the search and rescue team. You're not part of the grab this little water extinguisher. You're not part of the water extinguisher. They don't give us a big ABC CO2 something, and put a little small little designated fire, and you put it out with the water. There you go. But they didn't do that sometimes because people are short. It's more into the proper search procedures and search recovery procedures. And then you go through there. They give everybody their certificates. You could be either an actual CERT volunteer like myself, or you can just be they call the catch and release. You get your training of everything in there, and you just take it back home and help your family if you want. As they say, go help your neighbors, the ones you like at least. So you say to them, but they teach you, like I said, little first aid, no CPR. That's for first responders, but not for CERT, because our job of CERT is to help out the most people that you can at the same time. So you would go and if somebody was looking like they were not responsive, you tilt their head up, see, open their airway, see if they're breathing. If not, you move on to the next person, because all the time you spend on that one person is more people you can't help. You don't know if he or she's gonna survive or not. I know with kids, people make the exceptions, but like I said, CERT's not a job where you're paid and that's like you follow these rules, you're gonna get in trouble or go to jail. This. It's one of those, you're helping the first responders out. So you just got to remember, if you also see somebody like, oh, I can do CPR on this person here. They don't teach you it's just because of that, how long it takes and how much resources it would take. We have CPR training and you stop to help somebody like that to do CPR. You have to keep going. You can't just go and stop. You have to keep going for that person. And that takes a lot of time away from helping others. Because the person here you might be helping is, you don't know if they're gonna make it, but then you might have people who've got a lot of cuts of bleeding from debris, and if some might have serious bleeding. If you don't do anything to help them, they could for sure die. So they could die, but CPR person you don't know. But with kids, people, like, everybody reacts differently with kids. So with kids, people will probably also say, well, I'm gonna stay here, help them out. So you are technically helping one person out. So it's not like they can't fault you saying this. I mean, you can't do anything like open heart surgery, even any surgeries, because that's not part of CERT. You can do it on your own and hope the Good Samaritan law covers you, but you won't be covered under CERT. You have to follow CERT's rules. But they teach you, like the first aid. They'll teach you, well, here's what to do for burns. And it's like, well, how's your house? Well, your house is like this. Do you have supplies in your house for a disaster? Because people think, oh, first responders will be there right away. I mentioned it before, but like in my neighborhood around here, sorry about the sun, my neighborhood around here, we could have a 9.0 earthquake going on. And you think, okay, first responders can respond, but I also got a hospital nearby. First responders going to go there. Even if the roads are all messed up, you think, oh, they might get to me soon. But no, up that way is a hospital. Over that way is a high school. And so what happens is, if it's during a school day, guess what? Your neighborhood's getting ignored. First responders going right to the school. Other times, and hospitals too, I'm sure. Other times they might go straight to the hospital, so you have to make sure you have everything in your house you need to keep your family sustained till first responders can get here. You might not be able to get out. There are bushes. You might be able to get out because of dog. I said it's not dog, it's owl. You might not be able to get out anyway because your road's all messed up. So make sure you have your supplies at home. So you'll pick up things you can take back to your family if you don't want to be an actual CERT volunteer. Because if you have CERT volunteers, they give you you can get some specialized training in areas. And I like that because I've had different trainings. You call them CE, continuing educations. I went up to, I think it was a Poway, San Marcos. I think it was Poway. For that last training we did, I drove up there. It was a day and a half, so 2 days. It was a search, talk about searching. And that was from the Texas A&M. That was some college disaster management or something credits. So I was like, hey, credits. Put them all together, see what career, job, schooling, credits you can get out of that. There's another one coming up in the end of the year in November in Corona. So I thought it was the weekend before Thanksgiving. So I told the wife, oh yeah, that'll be a mini vacation up there. We'll go up there. I'll go to class during the day. Then she could look around, see what is around, things to do. Get out of class, we could have out a few hours and see what's going on. Get back, go to sleep. I'll get up Sunday, she could bring me in, or I could go in and then let her drive wherever and look around Corona. Do something for a little bit before I got to, if I need to bring her back, because she has to do work that Monday. So I have to drive down here and drive back up there, and then finish turning out money, which is my day off, which is a good thing. I like that. So it's a fact, it's a Saturday, Sunday, Monday, not a Friday, Saturday, Sunday. But if it was Friday, Saturday, Sunday, I'd take that off anyways. Give me that Crockwell trophy. I take off that day anyway, just to so I get to school. But I haven't signed up for it yet, so I need to hurry up and sign up for it. And so that's a plan for that. I haven't signed up yet. I want to mine it because it's, you get the credits, and then they'll send you when there's more. It's paid for by DHS FEMA, and it was already paid for. So the political games going in, how are you doing today? The political games going on is messing over the national security, and FEMA and TSA and morning. TSA, FEMA, DHS, Coast Guard, they're all getting messed up because of those political games. We're not gonna go sign the budget. We don't want our illegals taken out of here. We want our future voters. So I don't know what they're gonna get approval for next year's, early or late next year's classes, but so far this has been paid for. So I'm gonna still go through the sign-up process. I guess I can always back out like a week or two before and say I can't make it. That stuff comes up. But if it would have been the weekend before Thanksgiving, that would have been good, because she's already off of work. We could have stayed up there all the time, and I probably would have took Tuesday off, so I didn't have to drive right back down after the course, because otherwise I would have to check out. Otherwise I'm gonna have to check out on a Monday morning, then go to the class and head straight down. But if she was off, I would be like, oh well, let's check out Tuesday morning and take our time coming back. So basically what it's gonna be we'll drive up there Friday night, check in, relax, or do something, see what's around the area, and then go sleep, get up. Either I'll drive to the class and she goes from there, or she'll drive me to class so she remembers, so she don't have to Google Maps to get me, which we'll probably have Google Maps the whole time anyways. And we then the sun's coming up nicely, and then that's how we'll go in. Okay, yeah, if I've been seeing the dog's already barking. He can't jump up over. He used to jump up over the fence here all the time, real closely. But I guess they put stuff there so he can. Maybe he got to run his turn. Almost made it over. So and they got stuff in there he can. But I see a lot of stuff inside the yard there. But like I said, what it is, we're gonna go up there, see what's going on. Go class Saturday, pick me up. I'll shower and change afterwards. But go out there, see what we could go out there, where we could eat, what to do, get back to the room, shower, go to bed. Get up Sunday. We'll go to class. It's 24 hours. It's 24-hour class, 3 days or 8 hours. So it's a good Sunday. So I think it'll be a good trip. But something may be coming up where I don't I don't see it able to make it. Okay, Fubby's doing the business. Okay, I'll be back. Yeah, Fubby's like, oh, Dad's explaining something. Yeah, I'm gonna do my business now. I get that. So it's be concentrating on me, not on what you're talking. I'm gonna get you, Dad. I'm gonna go do my business. Yeah, but say so. Then do Sunday there. Drive back down here. Drop off. Drive back up there. Take a shower, go to bed, and do my Monday class. It's a check out in the morning, and then drive right back down here for work on Tuesday. But I mean, it'll be near the holiday, so it's gonna be low work. A lot of people will be probably on vacation, so probably won't get many calls for AC or heating. What you doing? What you doing? What do you see? What do you see? Yeah, we scratch stuff. I'm coming up to the house again. That likes to, after the while a couple of times, probably don't even come this way. Every now and then we'll do that, but so they got the training there, so we'll go up there and good morning. No one's doing anything to you. Relax. So we'll do the training each day. It's it's another search and rescue, a searching area. I think this would be more. We did a short one. They showed us actually cribbing, which CERT doesn't. See, cribbing is if something fell on somebody, provided it's not something super heavy that's maybe it's crushed them. Well, that's the only thing keeping them alive. But if something fell, somebody's trapped. What cribbing is, you'll get wood, whatever objects you can, you'll prop up start propping up the stuff that's on top of them so you can slide them out. Like if you got wood, you put on each side of what fell on them, and then you prop a side up, and you prop another side up, and you little by little prop it up so it's high enough that you can get them out. I'm gonna find something, but I guess I could show it. So I've got a few things around, so when I start doing the CERT manual, I will put something under an object that I got to get out and show you how they do what's called cribbing. Basically, you lift it up, you put stuff underneath it so it doesn't shift and fall, and you get a person out. Or you're getting an animal out. They say for people, but you do the same thing. But the animals, they find out they'd be able to get out as soon as you lift up high enough. But basically what it is sometimes maybe it's not that much. Maybe it's somebody can lift it up. And it's a little heavy for the people to lift up to get out, but maybe two people on each side can lift it up, take a corner, lift it up so the people can get out. But sometimes it's for like big heavy items, you have to crib it up. But like I said, they don't show that at CERT because it would take so much time. That's more for like the fire department, first responders to do that, because like the CERT's job is help the most people with the greatest amount of people in the greatest amount of time. So basically, your job is to be a mass ecology helper. That's what I explained about the CPR. If something happened and you find a family member, of course you're going to be doing that. So that's one thing about CERT is you're not forced to go out here. You could be a member like me. There could be a disaster. The disaster, they say, is you wait to get contacted by your CERT coordinator, or after 48 hours of no communications, you assume that you're activated. But what the thing about is, but they make sure your family make sure is first. You have to always make sure they're ready first. If you're in an area where your family is home, there's a major earthquake, you got aftershocks coming, the roads all damaged so nobody can get out, you're going to probably want to stay home with your family because you're in a casualty zone. Well, nobody's faults you because, like I said, you're the CERT volunteers, not getting paid. It's harder for first responders because the first responders that got their actual job, I mean, they could say, okay, there's a family here, and it'd be like, oh, well, people like, well, you know this, you know, your first responder should have responded, da 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 da. You know, I understand that too. It'd be the same thing as me. There's something going on with the family. Not gonna want to be going out to who knows where. We gotta make sure your family's okay. So, you know, nobody's gonna fault a first responder if they've got any kind of common sense of decency. If somebody does fault them, then, you know, guess what? You got problems. You got mental issues if you're gonna fault a first responder. But if it's not so bad, if the first responder's families are good, oh yeah, they'll be there in a heartbeat. That's why for emergencies, they say, have your contact list. Everybody knows who's on the contact list, and have one out of the area. Because if you got a flood, earthquake, storm damage in one area, you could have somebody, you know, in another state, another city farther away, another province, and they could be maybe not unaffected, because everybody's gonna be trying to contact everybody in this area here. But if they're unaffected, you know, they might have the phones working, so you might have able to get say, hey, I'm okay through this. And then when family members say, hey, I'm okay here, and they go, oh, well, I was contacted by your kid, or I was contacted by your dad, I was contacted by your mom. And they're okay. They're staying at, you know, your mom's staying at Mary's house. Your dad's stuck at work. Your kids weren't at the school, but they're at this, a lot of people are holed up at this business here. Okay, guess what? You know where they're at, so that way, possibly if you do have a chance to go out there, then y'all could get together. If not, maybe that's where the first responders start getting people together. Oh, what's so-and-so? They'd be like, well, they're here. And that also goes along with CERT, where you gather information. You might, I go down to, let's say, this house here, this Patriot here with the military service flags right there. Went around and like, oh, so we're here in a house there. Somebody can't get out because they're, well, you're putting on the first responder, you're saying, this is so-and-so here, so-and-so there. We have this many people here. On the other side of the coin, they're able to make it out and get to the evacuation center, where you get their names, information. So when people start asking about so-and-so, might say, oh, they're at this evacuation center, but that evacuation center, and they get the families together. But enough about this. We're soon going to be home. So I'm going to go get home, get my CERT bag together, eat, and head out. Have a good day, everyone, and I'll go for the video on the drive there and see what I can get at the training complex. Have a good day, everyone.